Now, over the last few episodes, I've made myself a dirt factory, and we also got ourselves a bypass for our regular train line that you guys also made sure to let me know that it's no longer a bypass, even though I haven't put any infrastructure in it just yet that really sends anything. So yeah, it's still a bypass. I've just put a farm in here for now. But anyways, we have lava, we have all of that fun stuff, and we're producing all of these resources. But I have no way of sharing those resources with our server mates just yet. And I've noticed off in the distance that Mr. Beardstone, I believe, built this beautiful little shop over here. And this is our shopping district. And I would really like to put my shop in this district somewhere. Now, something else you might have noticed. I am now in overalls. I decided, you know what? I wasn't even going to take a bath. I'm not going to wash this mud off. I'm literally just going to cover it up. So yeah, this is how it is for now. I may be a little smelly. It's no big deal though. I mean, as a gamer, I don't have any time to take a bath or shower or anything. I mean, I got things to build. I got factories to make. I mean, I got things to do. So, I mean, it's relatable, right? Right. Now, if I work my way over here, I've noticed, and I really like the way that this is set up. So up top, even though it looks like this, there is technically a nice little storage area that wraps around. And this is pretty nice, right? So we can contain our stuff inside of an item vault, and then downstairs, we can have the little shop set up where people can buy the things. For example, using this chute, right, in Packager. That's a very easy way of getting the stuff set up. But actually building the shop, well, that's a thing in its own, as this is going to take some concepting and a lot of idea work. And I think I want my shop to be on the corner and maybe have a couple others that branch around. But I'm also thinking, since there's this little area back here, it'd be really cool if we also have like a little back alleyway in the future that runs through here. So I do want to leave some gaps definitely in the back, but I think I want to take possession of this little corner right here. I don't think anybody would mind. And I have some really cool ideas for a corner styled shop. Oh, just so you have some things to look forward to in my future videos and plans coming up, I do want to make myself a pedestrian walkway that connects into the dirt factory. So I want this walkway to continue and then continue up, and we'll have ourselves a nice little pedestrian walk that goes over the top here that designs and wraps around into the factory, and we'll have ourselves a nice path that allows us to kind of still walk through these areas and not 100% have to have a train, even though the trains are still going to be here. These are going to be used heavily in the future. Now, some things that I should mention, it looks like Stam has rerouted this while I was on a little bit of a vacation. And yes, it is now a bit of a wider turn, and we don't have this straightaway anymore. And that means these are not centered anymore. But you know what? I kind of like them being in the ground like this and kind of being exposed. Oh, and some things I do want to mention. A lot of you guys, for some reason, last episode, like, suggested I should shut this thing off. Like, especially when it fills up or voiding lava differently. I mean, there's a ton of ways to do things. And yes, the lava could probably be voided 100 different ways. And I can also make obsidian with it, which is probably what I'll end up doing with the excess lava down the road. But I don't want to shut this off. The whole point of this is to actually chunk load. And from what it seems is it kind of chunk loads like a 5x5 of chunks around this central chunk I'm in. So yeah, this is a really good method for chunk loading. And I want to use these chunks in the future to make, for example, bone meal farms, things that need to be constantly running. And shutting it off kind of defeats the purpose of it constantly running. These are going to be things that we're going to need. And as of right now, we have no other way of chunk loading. But now, don't get me wrong, I 100% appreciate all of the comments, and it does give me a lot of cool ideas for the future and different ways that I could go about technically automating such things as lava. But if you're new to my channel, I tend to do things not always the best way, but usually the most fun for me at that given moment, as I've done a lot of these farms in other different mod packs that I've played over the years, and I have played a ton of mod packs that include Create. So those are things that you may notice from my channel, is I'm not always going to do things one specific best quote unquote way. I typically hate the best ways, as it gets really boring doing them over and over again. And I've learned over the years, if you're going to be playing a lot of modded Minecraft, well, the idea behind it should be to have fun, not burden yourself with the best solution to the problem, because you'll end up just spending more time trying to figure out the solution than actually playing. So enough of all of that chatting, and now we should go ahead and probably get started with this build. Now, I'm going to be doing a corner build that is going to exist right here. And then it's also going to extend a little bit because I'm probably going to make more than just one little shop. But there is going to be one large corner shop, and that is going to primarily be for all of the different dirt types that I'm producing. So that way I can sell those individually. I'm going to try and do this a little bit differently. I would have typically done this in a time-lapse fashion, but instead, I actually want to walk through my ideas and concepting of this build. So let's get concepting. This is going to be the door right here where I walk through, and this is going to be on a corner. You may be wondering, how are you going to do a door on a corner? I think this is going to be more of an open style, but I am still going to want some sort of like, I don't know, 45-degree angled entrance here. It's going to be kind of hard to accomplish, but we do have create contraptions to hopefully help us turn blocks to be able to put them in those orientations. Now, I also want it to have a little bit of an overhang. These little shops like this tend to have these nice little overhangs, for example, like this. And I could do that as well over here and also try to keep this factory-esque style. I don't exactly want to ruin this whole style that's going on back here with some sort of build that, well, looks super modern. Now, I also want to leave a little back alleyway, and I think I want to leave this about 3 blocks wide. So that's actually where I'm going to start my build. So if I build out a little pillar like this and have that branched over, this will kind of be the start point. And then this back here will be a dark little alleyway. Now, as I was concepting ideas, I realized I'm probably going to need some scoria. There's a couple of ways that we can generate scoria, but I think one of the best ways is just to simply mine it up. Now, you can use, like I said, a way to generate it, and I think it would be lava and chocolate. That is actually, oddly enough, a way that you can automatically generate scoria, but I haven't made a scoria factory or anything like that. So yes, if I'm going to need this block, I might as well get to finding it. And you know what? There's actually several blocks that I would like to gather. We have the scoria here, and then we also have the smooth basalt. So it looks like it's time again to use the mega drill. Oh my goodness. Now, I only need to let this run for just a little bit here, just so it builds up some of this material. There we go. That should be plenty. I also have to break this anyways. Otherwise, it literally won't pick any of it up. And what I've been doing is I've just been setting filters for everything inside of my machine here. And just like this, you can see I have tons of space now for a lot of scoria to build up. And it didn't even have to mine for very long. I should be able to pick this up now. And yeah, that generated a ton of scoria already filling up the drill. But yeah, now you could definitely see why it only took a few seconds to fill all of the chests. Yeah, disregard. And it still blows my mind that I can just boop like this and put it in my pocket. Now, I didn't grab any of the scorchia, which I think that's how you say it, scorchia, which I think is like a processed version of this material here. So yeah, you can take black dye and you can turn to this. This, though, can be also found in here, but I really wanted this brown sort of color here. As to me, it sort of gives off this nice rust vibe. So let's go ahead and get the rough foundation built. Now on the sides here, it looks like it is going to be even, especially if I want to add this, well, this little alleyway here. And I want to make this pretty symmetrical for this build. And then we'll have another building that kind of lines off the sides, much like this, kind of going with the same sort of design. You know, very much a downtown, like, sort of shop feel. I really like this idea. Now, the more I look at this, the more I don't think I want it to be perfectly symmetrical. I actually want this to probably extend out to the length of this building. And I want to make sure that this side is on odd numbers. So now this is 17 wide, meaning that from here to here on the interior section is about 15 blocks. That should be enough to house basically all of the shops in here for dirt. So now to thicken up the face, just like this. And then I've added a little bit of weathered iron, and this is going to lead into some regular iron. And I think I'm going to have it varied a little bit every now and then. And then this over here is actually going to be a loading bay. or a door for a loading bay, kind of. And this is kind of where I want the windows to be. Now, the front face here is where I'm going to have to kind of corner things off. It is going to be open where you walk through the center and just kind of walk in, but these are not going to be exactly what you think. I'm going to have to 45-degree angle it, and I do want this to be a certain height. Now, the outer wall is going to contain a very specific set of items. So I am going to have a few rusty blocks here and there, just like so, but the majority of this is actually going to contain these iron blocks and mud, which is going to fit in really well, giving this bottom a nice dark color. And it's also going to have some smooth basalt strung through this as well. Now, I've started to work out a basic foundation, I guess you can say. And I'm starting to add a little bit of detail into all of this deep slate brick, which is going to be the primary wall for the bottom part. And going up, yeah, this seems to be a pretty decent height for like the main archway. Now, I think lining the top, I'm going to have this extend out so it is level with this, leaving this a little bit indented. And then I'll just continue the wall, but this time the wall is going to be these dripstone pillars. Now, I'm thinking for the upstairs, it would look really good if we used like limestone, and I know just where to buy some. Now, I haven't set up any of the limestone stuff myself, so you know what? I'm actually gonna go ahead and buy a few stacks of it. Let's see, just like that, and turn it in and pick up my boxes. Very nice. Tons and tons of limestone ready to go from Eggs. Definitely be sure to check out his videos, by the way. He is working on some amazing projects there. Now, with this limestone, I'm just simply going to branch up just like this, extending the shape. Except we're going to have pillars that go on the outside, but there's still going to be windows, and the size of this is all going to remain the same, just like you see here. Better question though is like, how tall am I going to make this? I'm thinking about 7 blocks tall seems pretty reasonable for this. And I'm going to fill for right now the entirety of this in with just regular limestone. I really like the look of this. It almost kind of looks like siding a little bit, but I'll definitely be coming in here and fixing this up shortly. Now, I think the top here is going to look pretty good with a little bit of the scorchia. Yeah, this I did just add a little bit of black dye. It's pretty easy to get black dye. And then I'm going to use some of the stairs, and I'm going to overhang it once again off the top like so. Then to cap the roof off, yeah, I'll just go ahead and use these slabs. So there we go. I've now got a floor set in. It's looking pretty good. Randomized some of that scoria, and then up here I've got some randomized tuff. And it's an empty shell as of right now, but I do want to try something interesting that you can definitely do. You can use copycat panels for glass. And I think what this will do is this will kind of vary my glass a little bit on like some of the sections. For example, like right here, I might have this one like recessed a little bit, and some of the others like full. So I'll have this being a regular glass pane, while these are going to be glass panels. I don't know, I just have ideas cooking, and you can see they do like turn into regular windows when they're done this way. And this will give me a little bit more room to kind of play around with like these bricks. I can swap them out with something else, for example. But like right here, I can use a regular pane, right? And I can vary this in and out. And so it makes it look like not everything is just super flat. Ooh, and you know what? What if I place these copycat panels like on the side here? Then they actually look more like the window is now open. That's kind of cool. So you know what? I think it's turning out pretty decent. Now I still have this area right here to figure out. I think I'm going to decorate this with a few different things, but for right now, this is the facade. Yeah, I mean, essentially that's what we're making, is a facade for a little bit of a shop. And this wasn't really intentional, but yeah, whenever you recess them and place them in like the copycat panels, it makes them slightly darker, so it does give it a little bit more depth as well, just from the visual point of view. Now it's time for a little bit of contraption work. I think what I want is I want these panels to be on the outside, and I want to tilt them 45 degrees. And I'm going to run this all the way up here, and the bottom here I'll be able to place in a block in its position. But if I run this all the way up, I think this is going to give this a really interesting look, especially since I decided to go with a corner, which does make this build significantly more complicated to do. Now, with this being a contraption, I've got a glue from the bottom, and we're going to go all the way up here on this one. And this is going to be another contraption, and glue all the way up to the top, just like that. And now I've got to go underneath and get myself some bearings. Oh man. You know what though, with there being a complete underground area here, it's not honestly that bad, because that means I can just kind of fly down here, grab my wrench, flip this around a couple of times, and then make sure to set this to only place anchor when destroyed. And just like we did our trees, I'm going to be rotating these ever so slightly. Rotate them, I have myself some valves. They're defaulted to 45 degrees. And when I rotate this, let's see what that looks like. Not exactly what I wanted. Maybe if I rotate this 2 more times and have it go on the opposite side, more than 2. There we go. Okay, so that right there is more what I wanted. Okay, this is starting to look absolutely beautiful here. Now I do need some more of the scoria pillars, and I should be able to, because these are contraptions, place them right in and they'll go just like that. Now I wonder if I set this to place, and I have this now place this, they only place when stopped. So I'll stop that there. And then on this side, I'll stop this. I wonder if I replace the scoria pillar here, we won't get that clipping if I use something, for example, like glass. Ooh, I know. I bet if I use a slab on the bottom section here, then I can place the blocks in and I won't get that ugly clipping anymore. Moment of truth. Yes, I can place it in and it just works beautifully now. I think right up in the center here, chain conveyor maybe, to kind of give it a nice round look. This could be dropped down also, or I could divide it up with something in between. Now I added some copycat steps here and a little bit of decoration in the center, and it still does feel a little bit off. And I think that's just because it's on an angle, but it's not quite centered. And these will never be centered because we don't have a centered copycat panel. My favorite part, adding some more detail. I went ahead and carried all of the roundness from the chain conveyors up, and I'm using, as you can see here, some chutes to also emphasize the texture color on the outside. I think from a distance, it rounds it and it makes it look really, really nice. Now I want to add a little bit of a garage door, or make it kind of look like it's a garage door at least. And this is going to involve some copycat panels here, and then on the front, these copycat steps. And I think that kind of makes it look like a garage door. There's not a whole lot I can do because the texture that I want to use is this dead coral, I think. And I might actually mix this in with some gravel and make it look like a garage door. I just need to include some shafts here to make it look like it's being held up. And you know what? For what it's worth, I think this this definitely looks like a garage door. Now I'm working on some more designs for the face here, and I feel like this works out really, really well. So if you use some rollers, you can place a girder directly in the center and then pull some chain down. And yeah, this makes for a really nice hanging lantern. You get a little bit of clipping, but I think it's totally worth it. So to get the girder inside of here, you got to line this up and just simply get the girders going in. If I can place this in correctly, that is. Just like so. And one more. And then just, yeah, get rid of everything except for the small little port right there. And yeah, just run some chains down. Slap a lantern on. And now we have some really nice industrial looking hanging chains. Now I need to start thinking about the logistics and how the shop is actually going to function. So I'm going to need a larger storage, for example, maybe a full-size vault, which should easily be able to fit upstairs. I've already made myself a staircase right here, and I've gone ahead and I've used schematic tables as the feet of the actual table. And this is where I'm going to have a few things like our dirt, our mud, and things like that, which I'm going to be selling, right? Because this, I don't think I'm going to be moving too much of what's in this mall into here. This is kind of its own little shop, whereas this is things that I'm making elsewhere. So I'm thinking I could use a simple frog port system and have a barrel right here, which will be where the items are gathered for the people who buy the stuff. And you just purchase it right here from a clerk that's going to be probably seated in the center. And after that, everything should be good, right? We just got to get ourselves a chain system that can access a vault. And that means I need to also build a vault. Thankfully, I have all of my stuff here to be able to easily build a vault. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Voila, we have a max size vault. Now this garage door is here for a reason, because I also want to use this area over here as a loading zone. So I can go ahead and take like shulker boxes that are filled with stuff, or even take another vault and I can simply place it down here, and that vault can then be filled up, and we can actually get this thing like auto stocked, and I don't have to do it by hand. Now, you know what? I was thinking about using the chains, but now the more that I think about it, nobody else is using it over here, like using stress related things. So maybe it might be a good idea to try just using like chutes, for example. And I wonder if this would actually reach. So if I have a packager up here that's doing the request, and I line this up with this barrel right here, and I have a chute that is actually directional like this. Ooh, this might actually work out perfectly. I've just got to get this lined up down here. And this is where things can be a little bit harder to sort of organize, because I need this to route like so and continue on down the line. It's a little bit harder going down than it is up, but like that. And we just keep continuing this. Oh, this is going to work out perfectly. So yeah, we just will have this like chute system that runs down into a packager here and then sends the product out. Like that's going to look really nice. And so this is just going to save the need to have any rotational force over here that's spinning up chains and going, real fast. And don't get me wrong, I think I'm still going to need some rotational force, because that's how I'm going to get my loader to work. There's still a lot though that needs to be done, but I do like the way the chute looks. You know what? Maybe I can get away with not actually using rotational force for this, but instead maybe doing like a depot system where I have a depot that like kind of runs back and forth, but makes its way upward. And so a way a system like this would work is we would have a barrel or a place right here with a chute, and we can actually use that right now. Let's go to moving things. We can have a chute that essentially drops items directly into this depot, and then we can have those items collected like so with a funnel. They'll end up going into this depot. Then we use a funnel here. That'll go into this depot. Then we use a funnel here. That'll pull into that one, and so on and so forth, all the way up top here. And it's just going to continue. This is a way to send items up all the way like that. You can see that picks up the item, stores it into the next one, and just continues its way all the way to the top. And then ultimately it makes its way into the vault, and we have this, which will then send the items directly into the vault. Now on the other side, I can just use an item drain, and then I have the brass funnel, and thankfully this will actually stay in place. So we shouldn't have to worry about anything. And so if I take like a 3x3 vault, I can just place it in here with a minecart contraption, and this will automatically unload that directly into this system. Oh, this is beautiful, actually. So now just place a packager on that barrel there, and then we also need a packager that's looking at the item vault. And I'm going to also need to create a new network. And that new network is just going to involve a stock link, and then we need to link the stock ticker to it. Come back down here to set up our shop, and I'm just going to actually place the stock ticker on the back wall. So that is going to go right here. And then we need to figure out a mob to go on the seat, because I want to use a mob for this one. And you know what? I know just the mob. That's right. Foxy Yes Tail. Haha, yes. Even has some dirt in its mouth. Oh, this is going to be perfect for this. And so on the seat you go. Look at this guy. Oh, it's fantastic. And so we now have a shop. And when it's requested, remember that this is going to pull those items out. And wherever you have those items routed is where they're going to end up going. So the package will come out of here, and we'll just simply go down into this barrel. And that's exactly what we want. Now, here's the thing. I just don't know what's better. Maybe you can let me know down in the comments. Should we leave them as items that the person gets, or should we leave them as packages so that way they can carry more of those things back home? And I almost feel like it should just send the packages directly into the barrel, and then they can put the packages in their inventory. So you know what? Yeah, I think it's going to be better for right now just to have it as packages, especially since this is going to be something where people probably request large quantities of it. And packages can hold about 9 stacks of items. So, or 9 stacks of items, give or take. That's a lot.
Chosen?
Yes.
I like your shop.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
looking
Thank
good.
you. Thank you. Thank
Looking
you.
good. What is that?
That is how I'm getting items up without rotational
That's
energy.
interesting. I like it. I'm here to talk with you about this.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you've gotten one of these as well.
Oh, I don't know actually. This is brought to my attention. The power tokens were being misused. Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, for my viewers who are not in on the bit, the power company changed their tokens, so now the paper ones are not. They don't work anymore.
Yes, I had to buy more because I was about to run out, and I was like, and then I realized my paper ones were still in there, but they weren't being used, and I was like,
same.
Huh.
I've got like 5 stacks of them that aren't being used.
Yeah, same. I've like 14 stacks, I think.
And I've tried contacting the power company, but they send me through this help desk line, support line, and I just end up at the same person. I think it's Timmy or something.
Oh.
I end up with Timmy every time, and they don't help me at all. So my question would be, since you're in the same boat as me, and we're both victim to the scam.
The scam, yes, the power company scam.
What are we gonna do about it?
Well, I was just gonna, I was gonna load up the paintball gun, and I was gonna just have someone, just give them a little bit of a. But that's probably not. There's probably a better way to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So, what, do you have anything in mind?
I mean, I built a fancy new building.
Oh.
And I think, I'm not sure, but I think Throlash has finished the interior. So we could have a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
And see if we can use the new courthouse.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It does look good over here.
Oh, look at that, Trollesh.
Oh, yeah.
Your Trollesh is
very nice. Oh my goodness, there's a juror box.
Oh, dude, it's so cool.
The juror box. Oh,
I'm curious if he did. We were talking about this, but I'm curious if he did what we were planning on doing. Oh, he did not. Oh, okay, never mind.
The witness stand over here.
Yeah, and
the juror box is. Oh. I love that. That's hilarious.
This is gonna be amazing, dude. He did such a good job.
Oh, it is. It's great.
Oh, and he got. Oh, dude, that's a great idea. I was wondering how I would get stairs up to the second platform.
Oh yeah.
This is a great way to solve it. But yeah, no, we can use this building, or at least we can figure something out for this building, and maybe we can put the power company on one of these seats.
Yeah, or like the CEO of the company would be, we could definitely.
I mean, I would imagine he would represent his own company.
Yeah, he would have to. We should sue.
I'll sue.
Oh my goodness.
I think we could get Foxy in this as well.
Oh yeah.
I've heard he has some problems with the power company as well.
He's had a lot of troubles, hasn't he? Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm not a legalese or anything, but I think we might have a case. Just have to figure out who the judge is.
Yeah, we might actually have to get a lawyer as well. Because I assume that he's gonna have this whole group of this whole legal team.
Oh no, he is a big corporation. That is very true. Oh yeah, that'll be tough. You know what? We should definitely do that though. I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. I'll go.
We'll figure out the details on the case later, but I'm happy that I have somebody to help back me up.
Oh yeah. I mean, the power's been good, but
I mean, the power is solid.
Out of the majority of the tokens that I bought, that is true. I'm surprised
there was no prior notice.
No,
there was no prior notice. There was there's no way to exchange them into new tokens. I've already tried. So we should do this.
Oops, sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like
Yeah.
and this place looks phenomenal. This looks so good with the Jers box and everything. You know what? I think I was kind of scammed. I hadn't quite gone over this yet. But yeah, I did look in here and I noticed my power tokens are not being consumed. However, the power tokens are being eaten. I did have to restock new power tokens, but look at all these power tokens that aren't getting used anymore. Look, what? Yeah, I think this is definitely the time to take action. But I mean, it never really goes well for the small guy, you know? We're the small guy industry guys using Beardy's power. What if he decides to shut off our power and like there's like, I don't know, like he decides to come after us? What are we gonna do? Like, then we won't have power anymore. I mean, I did just get lava set up, so I might be able to get my own power up and running, but man, that just sounds like a lot. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, honestly. It's what it feels like. Well, now that I've got my loader and stuff set up, I think it might be time that we potentially get some stuff in here. And then once we have our product in our vaults, then we should be able to have a successful shop up and running, I think. So I'm thinking something like this should allow me to move my items about. Oh yeah, this is going to work perfect. We just got to put the cart in here and I can pick this up, and this will allow me to, for right now, transfer items from our dirt farm into our actual storage. Now on the back, what I can do is I can make sure I place this directly to the left-hand side, and I can actually create a little bit of a loader area here, and this will fill, for example, this whole thing directly with dirt. And of course, this is going to stop loading, and that's when I know that this vault is completely filled. Once it's full, I'll take it with me, and we'll simply fill the vault with however much fills in here. And I'll do this for each one of these. So I'll have to do this for the mud, and I would say the rooted dirt and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and send them over, but yeah, it's going to be a lot more limited on these, as I really don't have a whole lot of it. So bringing this back, here's actually what this is going to look like dropping it back off. It's going to just simply transfer all of that directly into this vault up here. How cool is that? Okay, this is working out exactly as I was hoping. Perfect. Oh, it's so good. Okay, now there's definitely more than that. It just takes a minute for it to actually update. But yeah, look at this. It just transfers out as soon as this is empty. It is holding quite a bit. I'll go grab some mud and all the other ones. I've already got all of the transfer stations done. So yeah, the loading area is actually functional. Now with everything unloaded, you can now see all of the different items in here. I do need to make sure to lock this network as it is a shop. I just right click on here and I can go ahead and say, hey, let's see, packed mud. Sure, I'm actually going to do 2 stacks of packed mud, considering it takes significantly longer for this to be made. So 2 stacks of this. Everything else is 4 stacks. So 256 for 1 diamond. I will put the diamonds on here. But yeah, this is going to be the little shop. Now this is going to be 1 stack. So 1 stack of rooted dirt for 1 diamond. And that's just how that is going to be set up. So I think this overall looks pretty good. Nice little shop area. I do have a lot more to decorate, however. I do want to get something for the windows, I think. And there's still some outside work that really needs to be done. Yeah, and I still can't forget, gotta place in these diamonds, and we're good. Now, I know I'm not exactly done yet with the decorating, but I did add a few more things like carpet. I also added a little display here in the front. I think I want to add some more dirt stuff on the outside as well. There are some corners that could use some love, and I did go ahead and add some paintings. But the thing that is going to make the shop really pop is the custom Photoshop work that I did here with Chosen's little dirty little shop. Yeah, Chosen's dirty little shop. Yeah, I mean, you get it, right? Now, this needs to go on this sign here, and oh, it looks so nice. I'm going to put something on the top as like a topper, but I'll have one on both sides. Oh, goodness, that's very large. It needs to go in here. Perfect. And there's my signboards. Chosen's dirty little shop. Oh, which is very nice because Mr. Beardstone over here added one for his lovely Power Co, which is absolutely gorgeous. But yes, here is my sign. I've got to get some stuff done to the outside. Now, after a little bit more cleanup, I think this is going to be it. I even added a little bit of an overhang, as you can see, over top of some of these things. I don't know. And I also added a little drain, you know, just watch out for the red balloon. I think that's something I'll have to look out for, but you know what? It would be kind of funny if I added a red balloon. Now, I think everything is coming together. I added a lot more detail onto the outside, and I added some detail onto the inside. And this is looking really good and is incredibly functional. So, boom! Look at that. We have some stuff up here. It is very nice. I like the way that the azalea looks with the limestone. It fits really, really good. So, what do I want to do next? Well, I went ahead and also extended this, and it looks like we have a little bit going on here. I also made the road lead into the actual garage door, but I made a drain. And I was thinking I could get kind of creative here. And what if I added, like, I don't know, like some steps, or maybe add, I don't know, something that looks like a little red balloon onto here? I think that could work out really well. Like this. Yeah, nobody's gonna get that. I mean, I really wish I could connect a lead up to this, but yeah, that right there, that's convincing to me. And you know what? I even customized it a little bit further to make it actually look like a little drain. Oh, that's gold. But I don't know, maybe I went a little too far with this. I don't know if I over decorated it. I have no idea, but I was having a blast the entire time. And this little shop has been one of the coolest things I think I've built on the server thus far. So I think that is the shop in all of its glory. Yes, you're gonna walk through Chosen's dirty little shop, and you're gonna be greeted with a nice dirty floor and a beautiful dirty little fox. Yes, that's going to send you your dirt, and everything can be purchased right here. So you just grab your stuff, click on the fox, everything is good. I have plenty of this in stock. That's basically everything I have for the most part. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty nice little build. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And of course, be sure to let me know down in the comments if you did enjoy, and if I should definitely sue Beardy Power Co., because that's definitely going to be something that I've got to keep in mind. And by the way, I think I tried my best to make it fit in with the other buildings, and I'm excited to see what everyone else builds. There's probably going to be more shops that I also build. This is just the one for the dirt, so we might have a few more that go off to the side, or that just blend in. We're going to have multiples in here. They may not all be centralized in this one place, but I don't know. I wanted to try my shot at a corner build, and this was about as good as it's going to get from me, I think. I don't know. I'm learning. I'm a slow builder learner. All right. Well, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, guys, of course, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a huge thumbs up. And join the Discord, link down in the description below. You can join mine and or the Create Community Discord. Both of them I have linked down below. And with that being said, it's now time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to, if I could spell thanks correctly, there we go, Tammy. Thank you so much for your amazing support in choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting me in one of the best ways possible. And guys, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.